We got a leader back there now. We got a guy that we can count on, and that maybe he doesn't play great or perfect every game, but we know he's going to bring it. Therefore, we all got to bring it too. And that's what I really enjoyed about this young man and how he approaches the game. Sam Levitt, he is going to make the throws that we're expecting him to make, and then he's going to also make some crazy plays like, what did I just see? We had him wrapped up in the backfield, and he broke 3 tackles and rolled to his left, then back to his right, and then sprinted 30 yards down the field. A playmaking machine, so quick. He's got a good arm. And it's his confidence and leadership that I think that puts ASU in every ball game they have this year. Like, seriously, down 15, down 20, whatever it is, they're never going to stop. And that's because of Sam's belief that, hey, we can win every game. And so that's a really plus for ASU. We got a leader back there now. We got a guy that we can count on, and that maybe he doesn't play great or perfect every game, but we know he's going to bring it. Therefore, we all got to bring it too. And that's what I really enjoyed about this young man and how he approaches the game.
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out gathercoremodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Day.
At Hellberg, we've received accolades for our barbecue, but my real passion is in cultivating world-class culinary experiences that bring people together. We would love to cater your next event. You receive a fully personalized experience complete with a custom menu that's sure to impress your guests. And even though we're known for our barbecue, it goes way beyond that. We've done everything from box lunches to grilled oysters and whole roasted pigs. Basically, if you can dream it, we can do it. This is at the heart of what we do. This is Hellberg.
At Camp Info Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
Hey, I'm talking. Check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, everybody. Everybody. Hey, talking, everybody.
He is going to make the throws that we're expecting him to make, and then he's going to also make some crazy plays like, what did I just see? We had him wrapped up in the backfield, and he broke 3 tackles and rolled to his left, then back to his
Your
right, and
host
then
cannot
sprinted 30
function if
yards
we
down the
can't hear
field.
it.
I mean, he is a playmaking machine.
Thank you.
So quick. He's got a good arm, and it's his confidence and leadership.
Hey, you didn't tell me we were live on YouTube right now. My mom's watching.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Deer Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Deer
That's
Sports.
a great sentence,
On this
by the way.
podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Deer Sports.
At Hellberg, we've received accolades for our barbecue, but my real passion is in cultivating world-class culinary experiences that bring people together. We would love to cater.
He is going to make the throws that we're expecting him to make, and then he's going to also make some crazy plays like, what did I just see? We had him wrapped up in the backfield, and he broke 3 tackles and rolled to his left, then back to his right, and then sprinted 30 yards down
to bomb Matt and interviewed one of my favorite players for no reason. Hi. I've always been able to hear myself. I need to hear the stream.
I can hear him in this.
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out gathercoremodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Days.
Oh, we got to be careful.
At Hellberg, we've received accolades for our barbecue, but my real passion is in cultivating world-class culinary experiences that bring people together. We would love to cater your next event. You receive a fully personalized experience.
He is going to make the throws that we're expecting him to make, and then he's going to also make some crazy sprinted 30 yards down the field. I mean, he is a playmaking machine, so quick. He's got a good arm, and it's his confidence and leadership that I think that puts ASU in every ball game they have this year. Like, seriously, down 15, down 20, whatever it is, they're never going to stop, and that's because of Sam's belief that, hey, we can win every game. And so that's a really plus for ASU. We got a leader back there now. We got a guy that we can count on, and that maybe he doesn't play great or perfect every game, but we know he's going to bring it.
We know.
Therefore, we all got to bring it too, and that's what I really enjoyed about this young man and how he approaches the game.
That's Jake Plummer.
I could hear it.
Custom menu that's sure to impress your guests. And even though we're known for our barbecue, it goes way beyond that. We've done everything from box lunches to grilled oysters and whole roasted pigs. Basically, if you can dream it, we can do it. This is at the heart of what we do. This is Hellberg.
Thank you. I can hear it now.
At Camp Info Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
That's good. I talk how I talk.
I mean, yeah, a new coach comes in, they're going to turn the roster. I think that's just...
Oh my gosh. I wasn't supposed to be up here for this segment, but I'm gonna be up here because I want to. Do not fall.
No,
Do you want to switch with me?
No, it's okay.
Are you sure? Okay.
y'all tell me when we're on.
It might be a minute.
They're going to make me put
it might be a minute.
My coffee away.
Well, we're not on TV this time, so.
Okay, Faith, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Sir, it's YouTube. It's YouTube.
It's YouTube. No, it's YouTube. Get over it. I'm defending my talent here.
I'll keep it down here. I'll keep it down here. We're good. We're good. I'll keep it off screen.
All right, what's prevent?
Awkwardly off screen. It's fine.
Okay, remember, when we go to break, we just stop talking because you never know.
Correct.
What the mic situation might be like. Look at them. They're selling beer over there. They're having a big time.
Yeah, we have to have that.
Okay. Grant. What's up, Grant? Sir.
Can we also make sure the talk back mic is off just because I can hear it now and I'm already distracted?
Yes.
Okay.
I said that in my first segment too.
Yeah. What do you call that? What's Faith call it? Is that concealer or something? I like some of that. I like a little bit of that.
Yes, that's great. You want some pink?
I've got a whiteboard mostly. I'm going to write times on it. Okay? All right?
I got, yeah. I'll show you some times.
Okay. Do you have a script? Can I get a rundown?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Rundown. Love a good rundown.
Thank you.
Robin. Big
Good
cat.
attitude.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Why not? Maybe he'll look at it.
No, I had a good gander at that this week.
There you go.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't send you any feedback because I thought it looked good.
We're hour two.
I thought it looked good.
I sent him
So I didn't-
feedback. I said I liked it.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I said
I didn't say anything, which is good.
this is my
I assume if nobody says anything,
It's
we're
great.
fine. Yeah.
Alrighty. I'm gonna get on my hotspot.
Robin,
Are we that close to being live? We're good. Everybody's confident.
Oh,
Heard.
okay, cool. I can't hear you. Nope, can't hear you. Lit.
Okay, Faith.
Matt.
You good to kick? That was Scotty talking.
Oh.
Goodness.
No way.
Goodness gracious.
Now I can hear it.
Ugh.
Robin Big
She
Cat James.
she thought I was mad. That's scary.
.365 Sports.
We are pumped you are here. We are rolling now. Guys, how are we feeling for this week?
Man, I am excited, Faith. And this, to me, feels like a major, do-over. You know, I'm having some flashbacks to that Auburn game.
Yeah.
It was a similar time. I think the exact same kickoff time. And I'm having a lot of flashbacks, by the way, Scotty, on several fronts. But from a game standpoint, it's very rare to this quickly get another great opportunity at home against a similarly built type team in program, Arizona State, because I still think they're ascending. They had a great year. I don't think it was a fluke what they did last year. And so I'm sensing, as we're here, 2 hours before kickoff, I'm sensing a lot of excitement. Maybe not quite the early buzz I felt that night before Auburn, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's going to build, and I think once everybody sees the anthracites, God, we love some uniform talk.
I think Mosley just loves the word anthracite. Yeah.
Still don't know exactly what it is. I think it's black, it's dark, but there's a little bit of gray in there involved. And I'll tell you what, I loved walking up and watching Scotty at work today, Faith, and then seeing Jake Plummer, Jake the Snake.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's incredible to get people like that. He had a good NFL career too, but when I think, because Darren Woodson comes to mind and Bob Brunig, who was a great player for the Cowboys, but they've had so many incredible. In fact, I started thinking through the prism of just Cowboys, and all these Cowboys players started going through and then I started questioning myself, wait, did Jim Jeffcoat play for them? They've had so many great players over the years, and I think after a long time in the wilderness, they're kind of back. And
I think you're right.
I think I could almost make an argument this dude's the best coach in the Big 12. I mean, I'm almost there.
Well, I might have said Kyle Whittingham, but Utah got shellacked by Texas Tech earlier today. Hey, let me ask you to vote in our Hour 2 poll. The question is, who has the most to gain or lose from today's football game? Is it Dave Aranda? Is it Sawyer Robertson? Is it Sam Levitt? Or is it someone else? And if it is someone else, either reply if you're watching on X or comment on YouTube and tell us who has the most to gain or lose from today's game. I think the answer is probably Dave Aranda. Any thoughts on that?
I'm going to go with Sam Levitt. I feel like he hasn't done what everyone's expecting him to do. I think this is a great opportunity for him to do that. They looked really, really good last week. I feel like we're finally starting to see that connection with Jordan Tyson. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's probably Dave. And, it's going to be fascinating I don't know. I could make a major argument on Aranda, which I will do when we get to Mosley's mind. But Sawyer, this is like a major crossroads game for him, because it's he took a little detour against Samford. I think as Baylor people, we probably put too much into that. Most of the country did not see that, nor do they think most of the country, even if he had a great game against Samford, wouldn't have cared, and the Heisman odds would have been the same.
Right.
So I think the Baylor fan that thinks, oh, he ruined it. And I was with somebody, not to brag, but last night, way up high in Baylor land.
Oh, man.
And they were like, Sawyer hurt his chances last week. And I was like, no. It was at Samford. It was 11 a.m.
Yeah.
The only thing people watched that day was the green and gold game day.
I think I mentioned this, but I was listening to ESPN, like national radio on my drive after the game, and I was curious. They start going around the country. I'm like, what are they going to say about Sawyer? He sucked. And they're like, Sawyer Robertson with 3 more touchdowns as Baylor defeats Stanford. I was like, that's it. Okay. If that's the takeaway, we're good. Well, Matt, I think it's time for us to open up Mosley's mind.
Yeah, it's a scary place to go.
Let's go.
Hey, before we do that, I wish we could put the cameras just due east. What are those guys in? What are those things called? The guys that are. One guy's he's got to look like he got a case of Modelo or Natty Light or something. But what are those things called?
I can't tell if they're dressed like pickles or cacti.
No, but they're in Baylor stuff. But what do they call those, Faith? When people in those, they're not koozies, but they're. People sleep sometimes in
a poncho, a sleeping bag.
No.
Oh. I would sleep in a sleeping bag.
We need Faith on camera, by the way, when she says things like that. There's like a thing that people, for a while, they were popular, and it would envelop their bodies, and it was really cozy, and they would sleep in them, and they were called something.
I know what you're talking about. The big sweatshirt things.
They're just like big. Anyway, there are these Baylor guys. They're probably like my old fraternity. I'm worried. I'm worried what we're up to.
You know what those are? They're like the wrestling robe.
I know.
Things.
They like swimming. People wear them, but
yes.
like there's another thing. Yeah, there's another name. Boy, good to see Pete out here. By the way,
we're gonna get Pete up here in a little bit.
I don't know about that, but I would say that. Only Sean McVay and that guy's about to get fired with the Dolphins can get away with those like culottes or whatever he wears. Those like joggers, like in the NFL, coaches now wear those things on the sideline. You have to be thin and athletic to do those things, to wear those short little joggers. Do you have some of those? Scotty, you're a thin man.
Thank you. I always have been. Yeah.
You're glad I noticed. By the way, did y'all, as we get into Mosley's mind, did you see the end of Game Day, ESPN? Did you see the whole?
Oh yeah. Pat McAfee diving.
Yeah.
We just happened to be having breakfast, and we hadn't really watched much of the show. And then, yes,
it reminded me of a houseboat jump that he pulled off here outside of McLean Stadium. Yeah.
Do we have a high dive here at Baylor?
No.
Is there anywhere? Do we think we used to have one at the marina? We used to have a huge, beautiful swimming pool over there, like an Olympic-style swimming pool. When I would come to Grant Teff camp, football camp, which is only for the elite young athletes.
That's right, like Matt Mosley.
We would end up in that pool, but I don't think they had a high dive back in the day, Faith, before you guys were born. They even like random country clubs would have high dives.
Okay,
and it was so scary and so like against every rule in life, but would have like huge high dives, and the pool would only be like 10 feet deep, and they would literally have high dives. Okay, let me do some Mosley's mind here.
Let's get to that.
No, Faith, I promise. If you act like you don't like that, I'll circle right back to it. Somebody's making some arm gestures at me. I believe that Arizona State will end up being like one of the biggest challenges of the season for the Bears, and could be the biggest challenge. And I sort of believe if Arizona State wins this game tonight, that they'll be right in the middle of the Big 12 conference race. Now, here's why I think Baylor, that we all know they desperately need to win. But like with what Joey did today, what Texas Tech did, that was a monster win. That was that you go on the road. They did get it to 13-10. Utah did, and they responded with like 3 straight touchdowns, 2 touchdowns within and it was like a great response. And they did it with their backup quarterback. So we can make fun of all the money and all the portal money, and I'll continue to do that. But they produced on the road in front of a unbelievable crowd of kids that showed up at 4 or 5 a.m. today for the whole Fox Big Noon thing. And so I think Baylor has a responsibility. Now, the good news is the Bears, last time I checked, don't have Tech on the schedule this year.
Mm-mm.
But
I missed that actually.
yeah.
Wish we did.
Yeah.
But this is to
Fair.
me this is a chance. This is Baylor's response tonight
Absolutely.
because Tech has kind of come out and thrown a haymaker, and I think the Bears have a wonderful chance to kind of respond and go, we're in this thing too.
When I went on the Zach Owens show, we did our predictions, and I threw out an 11-1, and my one was probably going to be this loss to Arizona State. But we come back and beat them in the Big 12 championship. I don't know now because now that Auburn is going to take that one, I'll transfer my one over to Auburn and keep this one. But no, I agree. I think this is a huge response, not only for Arizona State, but also just for Baylor, just to be able to say, hey, we're going to be consistent. Yeah, we didn't have a great Auburn showing like we wanted to, but rolling in the Big 12, we're more than capable of that.
There's a lot of parallels between both of these teams. I think both these teams came in with thinking that they had the best quarterback in the conference. Both these teams came in thinking they were squarely at the top of the pack in the hunt for the championship. And both of these teams lost to an SEC opponent who I feel like they didn't feel like they should lose to. Baylor-Auburn, probably a more even matchup than we were giving it credit for going in, although I think most of us said it was going to be a good game. Arizona State to Mississippi State, definitely did not see that one coming.
Loved that game.
So both of these teams, I think, feel disappointed and feel like they let one get away. I think both of these teams feel like they should be 3-0. But we're going to learn a lot about both of them tonight, because if either one of these teams comes out and just really struggles tonight, I don't want to say they're out of the Big 12 race one game in, but I really think if you lose this game for Baylor or Arizona State, you are now way behind the 8 ball, especially with the way Texas Tech is playing, BYU is playing. Arizona is coming in today undefeated.
Yeah,
like there are some good teams in this conference. And Baylor and Arizona State, we got to see if they can live up to what the preseason expectations were.
I think it'll be fun to watch this coach tonight, Dillingham, and to remember like the way he acts on the sideline and his overall approach is like it's who Baylor fans sometimes say they want. And we joke on our show, on the Mosley show with Scotty, about, Matt Rule. And there's some things that, Scotty loves about Matt Rule. Boy, they were down 10-0. I think Nebraska did come back in that game right now. And so could be tied. We'll check in on some games.
Probably because Matt Rule got in their face at halftime, probably.
But the guy Baylor fans sometimes think they want, and I don't know if they know exactly what they want, is Dillingham. Because when his first year back there, he was a graduate assistant. He's just kind of a look, and he became an offensive coordinator with Oregon, and before that he was at Auburn. But he's that kind of over the top, in your face. Now, he's still in his 30s. He's cut from the same cloth, kind of Dan Lanning is at Oregon. And so tonight you have the quiet, cerebral defensive genius against the offensive, over-the-top dude who in a pretty short time has restored faith in an embarrassing program. I just can't underscore this enough, how bad Arizona State's situation was with Herm Edwards running the show.
Oh, man.
And just random stuff going on and just weirdness. And the whole program had become a joke. And Dillingham flips that thing within 2 years. I mean, he turns it on a dime almost. Took him 1 year. He had one bad year, and then he had a great year last year. And this is kind of a year, can he follow it up? And I think we only can see this thing through Baylor's lenses, like how huge this is for Baylor. It's just as big for Arizona State. I mean, it's this massive for them. And that's why Vegas does not totally know what to do with this game, because they've got Baylor by 2.5. I don't think they feel great about that, but I think they don't trust Arizona State on the road after what Arizona State did against Mississippi State. So it's like they're having a really hard time getting a gauge on this game. And so I think it's fascinating. Now, to y'all's point earlier on who is this on and who has the most to lose or gain, I've referred to this as a Dave Aranda game. As a Dave Aranda game, in the fact that he got embarrassed by Auburn. He honestly got embarrassed again by SMU. Samford, we don't care. And this is a team that has a quarterback that can run, just like what Jackson Arnold did them from Auburn. And right now, Baylor, from a ranking standpoint, I know you look at this stuff, Scotty and Faith, I think against the run, Baylor's ranked pulling in at either 121st or 124th in the country. That is horrific because there are 136 teams in FBS. So this is incumbent on Dave Aranda to get this right tonight from a run defense standpoint and to get the personnel right. And I don't want to hear about, oh, they lost somebody for the year. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Phoenix Jackson, who did they lose for the year?
Phoenix,
Yeah.
Yes.
He was fine, and I like him, and I don't want to lose him for the year.
No,
but the whole season can't hinge on Phoenix Jackson. That anybody saying that is not being genuine.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of getting things right, we need to take a break. And then Faith Lynch worked very hard on this feature. Tonight, Baylor is going to honor J.J. Joe here at the game, and we would like to honor him here on this broadcast. So when we come back, Faith Lynch on the story of J.J. Joe. This is Green and Gold Game Day on 365 Sports.
365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day is made possible in part by Ascension Providence here in Waco.
At GameFinfo Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
I'm Cole Posey, and I'm a third-generation Baylor Bear. During my time playing baseball at Baylor, I started a hat company called Hondo, which started as meek and humble beginnings, has quickly grown into something more. Over 40,000 hats sold, and then over 100 retail locations nationwide. I love vintage Western hats, but couldn't stand the condition they came in, so I decided to make my own. Vintage style, but with modern aesthetics. Thank you so much for making my dream come true, and for enabling what was once a dream to become a reality. God bless.
I mean, yeah, a new coach comes in, they're going to turn the roster. I think that's just we've got all these transfer portal stats and what Dion did and what Fritz has done. I mean, that's the deal, man. That's the game that's being played nowadays.
Maybe a little bit unknown at quarterback. I mean, unknown to the rest of the world, but you know, he dove into the portal and got a guy who is super, super athletic.
South Dakota State's really good. Give us a little bit of breakdown about what they can do and what Oklahoma State needs to be worried about.
Look at that form right there. I need to say nothing else about this because I found one.
J.J. Joe was a Baylor football player here on this campus. He was a man of many things, very strong, persevered, and full of faith. I had the opportunity to be able to dive into this and talk to people that knew JJ on a more personal level while honoring him in today's game. In the fall, football becomes more than a sport. It's a tradition that brings communities together under Friday night lights and Saturday stadiums. Baylor football is a program that is built on resilience and tradition, shaped by decades of grit, faith, and community spirit. All qualities that J.J. Joe encompassed. J.J.'s passion for football came alive in Arlington, Texas. J.J. Joe started as the quarterback at Lamar High School, where he posted impressive numbers in his senior year and earned the prestigious title of Fort Worth Star Telegram Offensive Player of the Year. When JJ arrived at Baylor, his mission was not only to rise from a walk-on quarterback to a starting quarterback, but to be a man of faith and character in the process.
Tremendous leader, an outstanding athlete, had great success in high school. Absolutely everybody knew why he was recruited and had ended up at Baylor. I think it was a mission fit for him also. I think Baylor was a great fit for him as a person.
So when JJ comes, they moved him in my room because I think they saw that we kind of had some kind of synergy. And JJ was just the funniest dude. You know, he was loud. JJ was really loud. He'd be running out, coming down the step. "Hey, Mills, get up. Let's get to class. Get to class." He was always just like that.
Joe began his Baylor journey as a third-string quarterback. Remarkably, just 4 games into his redshirt freshman season in 1990, he took over as the starter, sparking the emergence of a Baylor legend.
He was a magician. Like, how can a guy do the things he was doing? I mean, you couldn't tackle him. The way he played the game was just very unique.
Coach Chuck Reedy was brought in to run the veer. It really fit JJ's skill set because he was able to run the triple option.
He was crafty. He was smart. He was athletic. His timing, his acting. He'll sell this little fake pass. Dive option pass was his play to Melvin Bonner. And, they became famous for this little, fake to dive and then, deep to Bonner.
Play action pass, and that's where people really love to see the highlights of JJ faking the dive or the running the veer and then throwing the long ball to Melvin Bonner.
Freeze that safety, and then Melvin Bonner run over behind him and he'll throw it deep.
JJ Joe redefined Baylor's passing game, concluding his career with school-leading marks in virtually every major passing category. But off the field, JJ was known as a devoted husband and father.
We kind of sort of knew each other, but we officially met the summer after our freshman year of college. I was going to the University of Texas at Arlington. We met that summer and started dating the summer of 90.
And Keisha was perfect for him.
I mean, JJ was a different kind of guy. He was very humble, very down to earth, very loyal. He was loud. And I know part of it probably because he was a quarterback and he kind of had to be loud. He was really loud from day one.
Keisha was everything to him. Proposing to her was the thing that he wanted the most. To be with the love of his life at a very young age and to raise a family.
We dated from 1990 until the proposal happened December of 93, which was his senior year.
He deeply loved his wife, Lakeisha, and together they committed their lives to raising their 3 sons into strong, faith-driven men. Concluding his playing career for the Bears, JJ went on to be a successful businessman before receiving a call from Baylor to sit in the broadcasting booth.
He was so excited about doing it. He didn't realize that he was going to get paid to do it. He was going to do it anyway because he just wanted to do it. He loved football. He loved talking about it. And the getting paid for it was like a bonus.
In 2004, he joined Baylor's football radio team as the color analyst. JJ then went on a 21-year broadcast journey with his longtime friend, John Morris.
Walter Abercrombie was doing games, and then he came to work at Baylor as head of the B Association, and that took him out of the booth. We had to look for someone, but then J.J. Joe's name came up, and J.J. would tell you that Coach Taft called him and recommended him for this job. He really didn't have much, if any, experience, but you could tell he was going to be a natural, and he just stepped right in, just fit with our crew perfectly, and just did a terrific job.
His voice was like melodic to me. He and John Morris, just those two worked so good together. JJ he brought his own flavor to it.
How excited he would get, that's pure JJ. I mean, that's not an act, that's not radio JJ, that's JJ. I mean, he was fired up about it.
Trying to get to the corner, he didn't get there. He did not get there. He stopped short. He is stopped short of the goal line. Bears hold the Cowboys out of the end zone.
The way that he would, call plays before they were done.
He knew what was going to happen before it happened.
1st and 10 for the Bears at the OU 34.
That throw to Terrence Williams.
Griffin steps back in the shotgun.
Everybody on the sideline did not want me to throw that pass. Okay. But I felt like JJ did. You could hear it in his voice when he called it.
Griffin steps up.
You got John there talking about, he goes to the left, he throws it back.
Slides to the left side. He's throwing for the end zone.
JJ's already saying, touchdown.
Touchdown. Oh, it's gone. Oh, my goodness. Touchdown, Bears. Touchdown, Baylor. Oh, it's caught by
And the excitement with which he said that in his voice, you knew he knew what it meant.
For 21 seasons, he became the enthusiastic and insightful voice fans grew to love, covering bowl games, RG3's Heisman season, and 3 Big 12 championship teams.
It was a regular day. We left that morning. He always walked me to my, to the garage, to the car. He always had my things and put them in the car, and he would give me my hug and kiss. And I got a call from his boss at his job saying that he had fallen out. And so he was like, meet us at the hospital, because he worked in downtown Dallas. And at this point, I'm worried, but I'm like, okay, he's fallen out, but they've, gotten him, whatever, he's okay. I hadn't even gotten on the highway yet to get, to start my way to Dallas when his boss called me back in my drive and said, John has passed away. Meet us at the church.
I was doing a basketball game in Cincinnati, and I got a call in the first half, and my phone was sitting there on the table, and I can't take a call when we're in the middle of the game. So I texted him back and said, a little bit busy, what's up? And he said in a text, have you heard that JJ Joe passed away? And it was just like getting hit by a ton of bricks.
I'd gotten a call from David K. I'm like, why is he calling me? And so I called him back, and he said, hey, I need you to check something out for me. He said, we have gotten word that J.J. Joe may have passed. I'm like, oh, my gosh, really? He goes, and I don't want to tell John Morris while he's on the air. Made 2 phone calls to verify, and unfortunately, that was the case.
I don't remember much about that game because I was just out of it after getting that news.
On Tuesday, February 25th, 2025, JJ passed from a sudden heart attack at his desk in his office. Former teammates, family members, and friends were in shock and left heartbroken.
I was like, nah, that can't be true.
I know it's becoming, I think the closer the football season, the more real. It's becoming, I always felt like the rest of my life I was going to always hear John Morris and JJ, do games, and that's how I was going to, right out to the sunset.
That was extremely difficult on John Morris. But I am so thankful that he had a part in the memorial service. As John does, the professional he is, he did an awesome job.
They had like overflow rooms. They had to show, people had to watch from rooms in the back to watch the service. When I saw Grant Taft at the funeral, I was like, oh, wow. To see him show up, it meant a lot.
So much respect between those two. I know Coach Taft feels that way about all, if not most of his former players, but I think he had a real deep respect for JJ.
So it meant a lot to see everybody come out.
If Mike Singletary was the model for his generation, JJ was the model for our generation.
If you were ever around JJ, JJ was the epitome of joy. Part of the reason for that is that JJ's joy was founded in his relationship with Christ. That's where it starts.
I mean, JJ was a gentleman. And so you're not going to find anybody that's got some crazy story about him. He was a gentleman, a tremendous person. He made you feel better, whoever you were.
JJ just taught us a lesson of just loving people and supporting one another, because he would look at you and see the best in you. He always spoke to who he knew God had made me to be.
In my mind, set the standard for what I think you've seen from some of these Baylor quarterbacks through the years. Yeah.
There is no RG3 without JJ Joe.
JJ was a man who was deeply faithful, loved others in a way that Jesus loves his children, and someone who lifted those around him with encouragement and wisdom. Whether on the field, in the broadcast booth, or in his professional life, JJ Joe lived with perseverance, kindness, and an unwavering love for Baylor and his community.
JJ was such a good dad and such a good husband. He was just such a good man all the way around. And you could see that when Lakeisha was there especially. And you could see it when his boys, growing up, he would bring his boys on some of the trips and they'd be in the booth with us also. Those are really good memories about the husband he was and the father that he was.
I would say the legacy that he's left, the biggest legacy, I think, is to be a man of God, and for all my boys to see the person that he was as a husband, to see the person that he was in his Christian walk, and just in his daily life, just to see the person and the man that he was has left a lasting imprint on them. And I think a lot of things that they do now, they do it for their dad, that they know that dad is watching and dad would not be okay if we're not doing things the right way and in God's name.
Being able to walk through this interview process with Lakeisha, with guys like Robin Jones, made me emotional as a sixth-generation Baylor alum. I was honored to be able to tell this story in the way that Baylor football is going to honor JJ on the field and his family. I'm excited for everyone to see. When we come back, we will check our fan polls. Thank you to Scotty for all of his hard work on this piece. I'm so thankful we were able to honor JJ in such a special way.
And I'm a third-generation Baylor Bear. During my time playing baseball at Baylor, I started a hat company called Hondo, which started as meek and humble beginnings, has quickly grown into something more. Over 40,000 hats sold, and then over 100 retail locations nationwide. I love vintage Western hats, but couldn't stand the condition they came in, so I decided to make my own. Vintage style, but with modern aesthetics. Thank you so much for making my dream come true, and for enabling what was once a dream to become a reality. God bless.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doomsday Podcast, coming to you from the Star in the players' meeting room with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus.
You now have two responsibilities this year that you didn't have last year, and that's being a first-time head coach and calling plays for Dak Prescott for the first time. But now we're doing something that we do annually. We get Stephen Jones's perspective on this football team and how it was built and what expectations should be.
At Camp Info Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
Hey, what's up? My name's Scotty, and I used to host a Baylor football podcast called Please Bear With Me, and I'm so excited to finally let you know that we are so back, baby. Please Bear With Me is coming back not only as a podcast, but as a YouTube show on the Rogue Media Network.
We are Rogue Media Sports.
365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day is made possible in part by Ascension Providence here in Waco.
Gold Game Day show. Thanks for listening to our last piece. We're going to go over the results of our poll. 46% Aranda, 22% Sawyer, 18% Levitt, 13% Kenny Dillingham. You made it, Matt. Wow, your guy.
Yeah.
What was the poll question?
You know, it was a little while ago. No, it was like who has the most to lose or gain
from today's game.
From today's
always Dave, man.
outcome.
Everybody's always saying it's Dave.
I know. Yeah, I would like to cut him a break, but
me too.
No, you can't. because as I said, Pete Sue's on here. Great to have him on. Look at it. We're very fortunate to get him in the middle of football season. This is extremely fortunate to have him over here. Camp Info. Pete, I'm going to get you a plate of barbecue here in a little while. In fact, they have some hush puppies, like fried brisket.
They're so good.
I'm in. I just like the way he says hush puppies.
Hush puppies. We got folks coming by to see us.
It's a great setup, man. I mean, honestly, this is amazing. And the porta potties are super clean. That's
good.
That's the little things matter.
By the way, I always look at these people that come to watch us, and I'll think in my mind, well, that's an older gentleman over there. He seems like a nice guy. And then it'll turn out to be a guy I went to school with.
See that?
And I'm always thinking, that guy looks kind of old. Golly. Faith, what's on your mind right now as we get closer and closer to kickoff? To have Pete here is a real treat. We will have Robin Big Cat Jones. My communication with Big Cat has been cut off. But it's great. Pete was on the scene early, and I think that's the whole key in life. If you show up early, it's something I haven't played by, those rules in the past. But Pete, my contention was that this is a Dave Aranda game. Like there's a lot riding on this in the sense that the Auburn game obviously didn't work out. The run defense was really, really bad. Samford was just kind of meh. SMU defense was not good either.
Yeah.
And they had some huge bust on 2 plays in particular. But again, that it's all on the head coach.
Here's the number one thing I'm looking for today, to speak to Matt's point. Sam Leavitt has been running probably way more than he did last year, and he's had success. But at the same time, I talked to Danny White this week, former Arizona great and Cowboys legend and Arizona State great, and he mentioned that Sam Leavitt has been too quick to leave the pocket, and it's actually been hurting their passing game. But today, I think that you mentioned it, the Auburn game, like we saw Jackson Arnold run roughshod over this Baylor defense. Like this could be the same thing. If Sam Leavitt were to do what Jackson Arnold did, right, for Auburn, then I think you, Mosley, and all your buddies can get on the let's give Dave Aranda a hard time train, and it would be warranted. As for right now, I'm believing that Coach Aranda will have something specific to keep that from happening again. Because if we have another quarterback run all over us, that is not a good look.
I agree.
No.
Well, I like that. Us. I love that.
Well, I've gotten in trouble for that on ESPN before, just in meetings.
No.
I agree. I think Sam Leavitt, I said it earlier, it's just he has a lot more to grow, a lot more to do. And so him leaving that pocket early, I'd love to see him change that.
For sure. And one of the things, part of the reason I'm here is to give us, because I, host Inside the 12.
Big 12 wraparound.
Yeah, Big 12 wraparound. So this is the Big 12 wraparound. So any questions you guys have about the Big 12? Because if you don't, I can just take it from here. What do you got,
Matt's
Mose?
posing for selfies over there.
No, there's a young lady trying to get my photo for a second there. But no, I would say, what has my attention today is the Texas Tech Red Raiders throwing a huge haymaker. And I think the early in, this was a prove it game for Joey McGuire and that program and all that money they spent. And to go up there and have some adversity and have their quarterback get hurt, and he threw a couple of interceptions, talking about Baron Morton, and have to go win that game with your backup quarterback, that was a culture type win. And to me, Baylor kind of needs to hold serve. They need to respond tonight, because what Tech did today, in my mind, is kind of say, we may be the favorites.
Well, and they did it. The one thing they did it with, which is like almost a shock to a lot of people who are so accustomed to watching Texas Tech air it out, right? Their defense is amazing. They're everywhere. They're all over the field. And Devin Dampier in Utah had no answers today. They got these 2 guys coming off the edge, right? Lee Harvey is one of them. And they're a menace to opposing offenses in the Big 12. And also Will Hammond comes in. Their starting quarterback, Baron Morton, who seems to get hurt way too much, gets hurt again. And this kid, Will Hammond, comes in. And Joel Klatt said it today, like, I have not seen this guy throw one pass that has been errant or inaccurate, And so that is, like you said, that's a huge win for Texas Tech. I got one for you too. Let's hop in the time machine. Mosley can go back like this with me. This reminds me of, because Texas Tech has spent so much money, right? And the program seems like it's on a whole different level. this is legal now. But Mosley, does this not remind you a little bit of SMU and the Pony Express, like Pony Excess? Like they went out and bought this team, and they're in a whole different class now. Texas Tech is.
Yeah, it's raised the bar. SMU did it when it wasn't legal.
It was very illegal.
It's legal now.
Yeah.
I love the big cat has made his way. Look at him.
All right.
He is closing in. He's got his daughter. If we don't watch it, if Scotty doesn't watch it, he'll just come straight onto the set. Scotty, hold him back right there.
Yeah.
I watched that man do so much damage to people over the years, including the University of Houston. But that is interesting what you said about SMU, because what Tech does feels almost illegal because they have a billionaire that played for them, and he's made a huge commitment to what they do. And on top of it, they have other people. And if I thought hard enough, I could remember the other guy. His wife played softball there, but he's the guy who put up the $1 million to get the great softball pitcher.
Yes.
$1 million arm, yeah.
What I like is
Nyjah Kennedy.
If yeah, she's unbelievable. Owen Pete does tons of softball, so he will know all this stuff. But I like a school that doesn't just pour it into, okay, we're going to transform football. Let's bring some other sports up too.
Yeah.
And softball went from, and Faith is a former Division I player, in volleyball, obviously, but boy, she's seen these different programs. Like Baylor's a consistently top 20 volleyball program. Softball, they've been up and down over the years. Tech this year went from,
they went from
kind
here
of mid-tier to big time in a hurry. And I think we can make fun of Tech, but we also ought to go, you know what?
Well, how about your boy Grant McCaslin?
We should do some of that.
He's one of your, what is he, your old fraternity buddy, Grant McCaslin?
That's my
thing.
thing.
Basketball too.
As I'm like, every university's got one. Every university's got some Cody Campbell, undercover, underground, whatever. If college athletics is moving in this direction, bring your guy up. You know, I love Cody Campbell's approach.
Yeah.
Inclusive of all other Olympic sports. I think it's a great holistic approach. If the game's going to move this way, why not? Okay, let's feed into it.
Put it everywhere.
And put a good approach on it so that people can follow.
I 100% agree.
At one point, we had like Bill Gates showing up at games.
Baylor alum.
Like, let's get him.
He's
not a Baylor alum.
But he's not? No, but he's
he's sorry about that.
No, that's pretty close.
By marriage, right? Is that how that works?
My fiance went to Oklahoma, and sometimes I cheer for Oklahoma.
Okay.
So
so that would be good if we could get in with him. But he was at the first game at the new basketball arena.
Yeah, he
was.
was.
One more thing about the
Big
Big 12.
We have nobody, just because occasionally some of my buddies who are sadly old enough to have made all this money, we have nobody close to Cody Campbell. We do have unbelievable donors and people
We
that
can
make,
compete.
but yeah, well, maybe, yeah.
I think in time,
not with him.
I think in time though, there's the playing field has changed so much, right? That the opportunity is there. One more thing for the Big 12 before I get out of here. Today, UCF is right now. They're putting it on Bill Belichick in North Carolina, and by the way, so that's obviously the Big 12 owning an ACC school, and then earlier today, TCU in the battle for the Iron Skillet up by your neck of the woods, yours too. Yeah, I mean, Josh Hoover is like video game stats, dude. I mean, he's so, and that it makes our appointment, or our Baylor's appointment with TCU late in the year, really exciting, dude. There's a lot of meat on that ball.
I agree. I'm a big Josh Hoover fan.
Yeah.
I think him and Sawyer are in the same mindset, how they play. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
How much do you guys, as Baylor alums, how much do you really have disdain for TCU? I mean, how real is that? I'm from Philadelphia.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I do have friends from there. I don't like going over there. I like the city. I like Fort Worth. Fort Worth hates Dallas.
Yeah.
But I love hanging out in Fort Worth. But I have had so many horrible experiences at that stadium. And so I don't like going over there. But I find that very interesting that now Sawyer, I mean, see, this is the time of year when the pretenders get separated from the contenders, even when it comes to like big time quarterbacking. Because like today, we found out that Devin Dampier, while talented, I'm not saying he's not good, but Tech put him in a blender. They put him they in Tech. What's scary, and I said this to Scotty this week. what's scary about Tech, like we've always known they could play offense, but that's scary if they're really good on defense, and they appear to be, and they've got really good linebackers, and their defensive line is like unbelievable.
Dude,
those
they
are the
got two
portal
pros.
dudes.
Yeah, and the kid Rodriguez, by the way, this is the last thing because Big Cat's coming. But today it was like the perfect piece of like television. Jacob Rodriguez, his wife flies like Black Hawk helicopters for the U.S. Army, and she's in the stands. They're showing her. He's dominating. It was a great win for Tech. And by the way, it's a huge win for the Big 12 because if you look at how well Brett Yormark, what he's done for this conference, big noon kickoff, right, in Salt Lake City at Utah. Then that first game, Texas Tech and Utah. Then right now Carolina and UCF, and then Baylor in the nightcap with your boy Tim Brando. Pretty cool, man. A lot of eyes on the Big 12. A lot of eyes on Matt Mosley and Faith.
Good for you, man, for bragging on the Big 12. Brett's asked us to have some Barstool people on tonight.
Oh, goodness. Pete, thank you so much for coming. Big 12 wraparound. Always a joy to have Pete. When we come back, Robin Jones will be joining us. Stay tuned. Hello, guys. Welcome back to Dear Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Dear Sports. On this podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Dear Sports.
At Hellberg, we've received accolades for our barbecue, but my real passion is in cultivating world-class culinary experiences that bring people together. We would love to cater your next event. You receive a fully personalized experience complete with a custom menu that's sure to impress your guests. And even though we're known for our barbecue, it goes way beyond that. We've done everything from box lunches to grilled oysters and whole roasted pigs. Basically, if you can dream it, we can do it. This is at the heart of what we do. This is Hellberg.
365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day is made possible in part by Ascension Providence here in Waco.
At GameFinfo Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doomsday Podcast, coming to you from the Star in the players' meeting room with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. You now have 2 responsibilities this year that you didn't have last year, and that's being a first-time head coach and calling plays for Dak Prescott for the first time. But now we're doing something that we do annually. We get Stephen Jones's perspective on this football team and how it was built and what expectations should be.
Welcome back to the 365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day Show. We have the honor to have Robin Jones, Big Cat, sitting next to us. Matt has been whispering Big Cat Jones in our ears all day, so I'm so glad he was able to make an appearance. You got to see the JJ piece earlier. It was an honor to interview him and have him a part of that. Robin, thanks for coming.
It is totally my pleasure to be here, sitting next to you guys. And I really appreciate the moment to come here and just spend time with Matt. I love you, Matt. I feel like we're more like family than we are, friends. But just thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And today, as we celebrate JJ's life, and we that piece that you were in with Faith aired earlier today, and we'll be showing that some more. But tonight, for the family to be honored on the field, and there'll be various ways people will be showing support. Big Cat, there was just nobody who loved Baylor more. And but I can't help, as sad as I am when I think about losing him, I have so many great memories of him, and you do too. And some of this we just can't help but smile when we think about JJ. He was the adult in the room, wasn't he? Back in the day, was almost. Did you ever get JJ to get out with you guys late night or anything, or was it just almost impossible to get him out? I mean, there's no way he was going to break curfew, but wasn't it almost like having a best friend who was also a coach in a sense?
Yes, exactly. He's 3 years younger than me, so he came in as a young guy, but you could tell he had something special about himself. I was telling Faith that there's a tailgate. There's a tech group that we have, like 22 former Baylor players, great players, Anthony Ray, Robert Blackman, Santana. We're all in this text group. I say, you know what? It's like 22 guys, 21 heathens, and one great guy. and that one great guy was JJ Joe. So it's just kind of, I couldn't make sense of why, God took him, but I know things happen for a reason, man. And it's just really sad for us, for us to lose him the way that we did. But he was that guy. Whenever someone passed, no matter how bad they were, people say nice things about you.
Yeah.
You were this, you were that. But everything that we say about JJ, he was 100, man. I mean, he's the guy that you would want your daughter to marry. He was just that guy on and off the field. Great competitor. Great in the classroom. Great in life. Period, man. So I really, really miss him.
You having played in the Dallas area, do you remember hearing about him over at Lamar? Did y'all ever cross paths in your high school years? I was trying to think if y'all were both 5A or whatever back then, but did you ever cross paths, and what did you kind of know about him before you met him at Baylor?
Yeah, so, his name stands out. So I remember a quarterback at Arlington Lamar, and I remember his name, JJ Joe, but I didn't really know. I didn't meet him until his recruiting visit, and I remember speaking to him the Sunday before he was going back. We used to bring recruits to the old stadium on Sunday morning, and some guys would commit. That's when coach would officially offer you your scholarship, and then you could either commit or say, well, I'll think about it. And so seeing JJ, I remember talking to him, and he was on offense. Normally you would host guys to play your position or on defense. But I remember talking to him, and he said, hey, you'll see me again. And so I knew he was coming. I knew he was going to commit. I had no idea the how good he would be once he came there. But the offense that we had was perfect for him. That Veer offense wasn't good for Brad Gable, but for JJ Joe, it was perfect. So he really came and lit a fire on our offense. He and Chuck Reedy really did a lot for the offense. Before that time, it was mainly we were defense. We had to score points on defense. James Francis would block a punt or field goal, and we would score on defense. It really would happen on defense. But JJ really came and lit a fire on our offense, man. And he was a pleasure to have.
Yeah, Faith, there was a big cat before this big cat. And so James Francis was this unbelievable linebacker, and he had crazy size and length. And so he had a different skill set, and he had these monstrous hands, and he also played basketball. And then this big cat comes along when James, probably you were how many years behind him?
Yeah, so I was 1 year behind James, but James didn't redshirt, so I redshirted. So that puts me 2 years behind him. Okay. James didn't really become big cat until he went to the Bengals. Oh. So that's where he got his big cat name from, the Bengals.
Okay.
But the Baylor big cat was always me.
Always you.
It was always me.
you.
Yeah. And the other funny part about that, though, I was at a Dallas Cowboy party right before the draft. So someone said, big cat. And it was Eric Williams, but he was calling Leon Lett. He wasn't calling me.
You thought he was Leon Lett.
Yeah, it was
the 6'7" former Cowboys great, was also known as Big Cat. So there are a few big cats around.
Right.
and Robin Big Cat Jones on this green and gold game day out here with us. Now, you talked about Reedy. In 1990, JJ gets kind of thrown in there as a redshirt freshman quarterback. Y'all are playing A&M, and as usual, the defense had played a well of a game. A&M was great back then. I think RC had already taken over for Jackie Sherrill at that point. You were in that game where y'all tied, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it was 20-20. In Faith, some of us were very upset because Grant didn't quite yet trust the young quarterback.
Okay.
And Grant decided to play for the tie.
Oh,
and there were some Baylor fans so upset. One of them actually tried to fight the head coach after the game. Do you remember walking off the field and actually seeing that take place?
I do remember that. I remember being in the locker room. Then I heard this tussling behind me. And I never would have imagined that this is my head coach is getting into a tussle with somebody. So somebody was coming for Coach Taft, but I'm like, what is that noise? And yeah, that was a tussle at the door. So yeah, that was different.
Yeah. Okay. So this Arizona State, y'all didn't really have an opportunity to play against them back in the day. Y'all played against. There was a game right after you graduated. I think they played Arizona. Desert Swarm. You remember that? They played out the Sun Bowl against a great Dick Tomey team. But, boy, this Arizona State history with, like, Darren Woodson, some incredible players over the years. But this is a great matchup tonight. But the scary thing to me, Big Cat, I want you to put your scouting coaching cap on. The scary thing is, and Faith knows this Sam Levitt is fast. And they got beat on the ground by a quarterback in that first game against Auburn, as you well know. Now, first of all, before you tell me how the Bears should defend him, who was the fastest quarterback you ever had to deal with back in the SWC days?
Yeah, so two quarterbacks that come to mind when it comes to just quickness, Quinn Grovey at Arkansas, and then Darren Hagan at Colorado.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was awfully fast. But the guy that gave us the most problem was Bucky Richardson at A&M. I mean, he was crafty. He was really crafty. But I have to say something because we did play Arizona State one year when I was here at Baylor. It was out in Tempe, and they had a running back, Leonard Russell. They beat us like 24-3 out in Tempe. Same year we had played Nebraska. And they had a big time quarterback, but so we practiced for the pass the whole game. They had just signed this big running back from junior college, Leonard Russell, and that guy cooked us alive, man. He had this little. I mean, we didn't know where this guy came from, but he was from junior college. Ended up being a first round pick of the New England Patriots that year. So they beat us like 24-3, something like that, man. So it was killing.
Wait a second. Was Woody on that team?
Darren Woodson, Felipe Spark. And it was a Chiefs quarterback. I can't think of his name, but he got played for the Chiefs for a while. But he was their quarterback, man. And he was good too. And I can't even recall his name at the time.
Are you saying this is before Jake Plummer?
Yes.
So if he played for the Chiefs, I'd have to think on that one. But wow, so you did go out there.
We did go out to Tempe, and we were confident, like, man, we're going to go ahead and beat these guys. Man, they had this. I mean, Leonard Russell was big, man, and he would cut back on us. He would start one way and cut back, and we couldn't stop it. We could not stop it. I wish I knew the quarterback's name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm old now, so my little memory isn't as good as it used to be.
No, you're doing really well, and man, it is so fun to have you. And I was, Santana I did see in the Letter Winners Lounge, and of course he had the long NFL career, but you and Santana have had a unique relationship. Y'all have been great friends for years, and he came out of that famous high school, right? Was he from Houston Yates?
Yates, huh?
And so Faith, and Faith was a college athlete herself here at Baylor.
Santana's daughter played volleyball at OU. I played at the same club as her growing up.
Goodness, really?
Mm-hmm. So it was another Baylor my dad and him were at the school at the same time, and then we were both playing training at the club together.
wow.
She was, I think, 3 or 4 years older than me.
She's my
but
goddaughter.
Sine. Oh, no way. Sine, yeah.
Sinead's my goddaughter.
Ran
yeah.
into him at the bowl game, and he said she was in Greece playing.
Yes.
Playing professionally.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Don't worry. I'm still connected to all all these kids that you went to school with. Now I actually have kids that are my age.
Yeah, you don't have to make us feel so old. And Brian Skinner had some unbelievable
Avery Skinner.
daughters who
Mhm.
played. So is Avery the one that came to Baylor at
Yes.
one point?
Mhm.
Okay, from Kentucky or
Yes.
yeah, I'm trying to
yeah, from Kentucky. Mhm.
trying to show off my volleyball
Oh yeah. You're
knowledge.
doing great. You're doing
Now,
great.
what do you have, Big Cat? What do you have tonight? Are you coming into this with like? I would imagine you're a pretty optimistic guy, but you probably were optimistic before the Auburn game, and obviously it didn't work out for the Bears. Are you more optimistic for this one? Not really. He's shaking his head.
Oh no. Don't do that to us. This is supposed to be a good thing.
No, I'll tell you why, though.
What's wrong?
Talk to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was hoping this last game that I was watching that we would control the line of scrimmage more.
Okay.
And I just never saw that. I never saw us playing in their backfield. I never saw us dominating those guys. Sanford shouldn't have no one on their team that should be able to play here at Baylor. I was just hoping they would dominate a lot more. I just didn't see that. I felt they played well against SMU, but SMU is more of a finesse football team. This quarterback I'm hearing is a good runner. Auburn got us because their quarterback was able to run when it was time to run. And he picked his hole, and we couldn't do anything to stop that. So I'm hoping they've corrected that. I don't know if it's personnel or what, but I just need us to dominate on both sides, offense and defense, linemen. So I know we're paying guys a lot of money now to come here and play football. Well, we need to invest in some of these linemen to come here and help dominate, because to me that's where it always starts at on the line.
Well, man, I think that's right. And to me, I've been bringing up, this is a huge Dave Aranda game. In a sense, if you're the play caller and you're the architect of this defense, this is a game you got to earn your huge money. You got to show up. Let's here's what I'm going to say. He's got to pull a Pete Fredenberg. He has got to put something together. And I don't want to hear this guy's been banged up, that guy been banged up. Everybody's banged up, right? They're missing Alford, big time cornerback. Hey, I was wondering, did you and Santana, like, would y'all do stunts and all that stuff back then, or were you more straight up with Fredenberg? Did he have y'all playing twist in games, or not too much? It's a line.
Yeah, well, we did have a few calls. There was a twist, a Tim and Tom, we would call it, tackle inside, tackle outside, to where we would change, swap. But for the most part, he was confident in us that way we could beat our man one-on-one, and it was competitive. So it was a friendly competition, but I want to beat him to the quarterback. And so it was always me wanting to race him to the quarterback. So to me, he helped motivate me because we're competitive, we're friends. So it was always a deal for me wanting to beat Santana to the quarterback. And not only Santana, but Aberfundo, Marcus Lodes, Teddy Patton. We were all kind of had a little friendly competition of who wanted to get back there.
It is amazing how many people Big Cat knew on campus.
Oh, yeah.
Back then, they didn't have time to interact really with people on campus like I did. I was, of course, trying to hold court and walk around, meet everybody. And today, when I go to one of these tailgates, they'll go, I heard Robin's going to be on with you.
Aww.
And it's these women that went to school with us, and he just, people love him. And Amy Anderson, who's one of our great friends, they all love Robin because he's such an incredible guy. So, yes, JJ was the best in the world, right? But you also are an unbelievable guy, and people love you. And so thank you for being with us. We loved having you.
My pleasure, man. Anytime, okay?
Yes, thank you, Robin. When we come back, we will launch our next fan poll, so make sure you stay tuned.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Dear Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Dear Sports. On this podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Dear Sports.
At Hellberg, we've received accolades for our barbecue, but my real passion is in cultivating world-class culinary experiences that bring people together. We would love to cater your next event. You receive a fully personalized experience complete with a custom menu that's sure to impress your guests. And even though we're known for our barbecue, it goes way beyond that. We've done everything from box lunches to grilled oysters and whole roasted pigs. Basically, if you can dream it, we can do it. This is at the heart of what we do. This is Hellberg.
365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day is made possible in part by Ascension Providence here in Waco.
At Camp Info Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doomsday Podcast, coming to you from the Star in the players' meeting room with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. You now have 2 responsibilities this year that you didn't have last year, and that's being a first-time head coach and calling plays for Dak Prescott for the first time. But now we're doing something that we do annually. We get Stephen Jones's perspective on this football team and how it was built and what expectations should be.
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out gathercoremodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Day.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Welcome back to the 365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day Show. Thank you for tuning in today and sticking with us. We are going to launch our 3rd poll of the TV show. I guess this is a TV show. I guess we can call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We will. What will tonight's results be? Bears win big. Bears win close. Sun Devils win big, or Sun Devils win close.
We're going to make our predictions later.
Oh my gosh.
But you should weigh in right now on the poll.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
I love that poll earlier. Tons of people were involved, like large percentages.
I think like
been great.
12 million people voted in that one.
Even hey,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
seems,
no, yeah.
seems
Every Baylor alumni now and in the future. This is Behind Enemy Lines, guys. It's time to break down the game. We are, 45 minutes or so from kickoff.
Woo.
It's a big time. Here's what I want to bring you. Arizona State, right? I think preseason was a scary opponent. And I don't know that they've lived up to that on paper. We've talked today about Sam Levitt's stats, only 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions through the air. But this team is running the football. This team is 2-1, just like Baylor did, or Baylor is. They are going to try to run the ball on Baylor, which Baylor has shown no ability to stop. Their secondary has not been very good and is also pretty beat up at the moment with some key playmakers missing. So Baylor should be able to do what they do best, which is throw the football. I'm expecting a shootout here tonight.
Okay, so I think that might happen. But I did look back at the Mississippi State film, and I think that's what people kind of tune in for. Has Mosley been watching
Mosley's
his
breaking
film.
down film. That's right.
Now, when Mississippi State built that lead, and that was a huge win for Mississippi State, but it was not like the sustained effort that we've made it out to be. They were not great against Arizona State in the second half. Arizona State did have a comeback. Shapen kind of did his damage, the old Baylor great.
Oh, yeah.
On 2, kind of like Baylor and SMU, on 2 huge busted coverage type things. Now, that's okay. Like, I'm not one of these people who says, well, they had 2 big runs. Well, that's what they got most of their runs. those runs
they count.
combined for 100 yards. I hate the arguments where it's like they only had 116 other than those 2 huge runs.
Yeah.
I hate all that. But
He hates it, guys. Do you hear that?
I do.
He hates it.
I do.
I think he dislikes it.
But they had some huge busts. Now, you're hoping it happens again. You're hoping it happens again tonight. Now, one good thing is this Alford, he's a tremendous all-conference player. He is out. He is out tonight for Arizona State. But the thing that concerns me is they're built a little bit more like Auburn than I had hoped they were, in the sense that I don't think we think of Big 12 teams as these huge bullying offensive lines. They kind of have one.
Yeah.
They kind of have some experience. They'll bloody your nose a little bit. And if their coach doesn't, if Dillingham, and I think, is he still calling plays? Whoever's calling plays for them, if they don't run quarterback power a lot, early and often, they're crazy, because Baylor has to prove that they can stop it. And that's why I keep coming back to this. It seems like a Dave Aranda game in a lot of ways, because we had Phil Bennett on, the old Baylor defense coordinator. And to me, now that I bring that up, you kind of almost need, perhaps, if this is a shootout, you need some old Phil Bennett defense to show up tonight. And you go, well, wait, you're talking about the one that gives up huge yardage and all that kind of stuff? Well, sure.
Oh, jeez.
Because that'll happen. But no, he would eventually get like a huge takeaway.
Yeah.
Or, as he told us the other day, Scotty, get 2 or 3 stops.
Look at our look.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Phil Bennett preview.
Well, that's
coming
fine.
up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I hope I'm not
but-
stepping on
No. We're going
Phil's
to hear from
toes.
him.
But I mean, I think it's okay to reference him, even though we're going to use some of this. Correct,
Well, let's
Scotty?
throw it to Phil Bennett right now. Let's
I
see
would
what
love
Coach
to do
Bennett
that.
said about how to
Tremendous.
stop this Arizona State offense.
Game, when he's running the power read, he's going to be reading the end man on the line. If the end man closes to him, he's going to give the ball. You have the option of who you want to. You can make the quarterback give the ball. If you remember in the Auburn game, we were always upfield with our ends. Jackson Arnold saw the end was going to the jet motion, or the running back, and then he followed. And then we lost our fit with our linebackers. And you can make them give the ball and make the ball go east and west. That's something I always thought about with a power read. If I had a quarterback, I wanted to take the ball away from him, I crashed the end to the quarterback and then let our pursuit go to the ball. Now, what's different is scrambling, third down. We're 11. If you remember the Texas game, he willed them a chance to win on scrambles. I would think, and Jackson also scrambled in that game, as we know. And Baylor was very close on their line movements. They were doing twists, which I thought were good, but they missed the tackles. I don't know if you watched Baker Mayfield on Monday night.
Yeah.
But he didn't play great all game. And then at the end of the game, the last drive, the Texans went to 2-man. That's man underneath with 2 high. Well, what happens is when the back scat and you've got 5 blocking 4, the quarterback's scramble is deadly, and it won the game for him. I would think somehow Dave would be able to, when on passing downs, and I'm not going to call it a spy. I used to call it a tracer. You're going to do your drop, but you're going to be second level, knowing that if the count goes 1,001, 1,002, ball's not thrown, you're coming down. You're going for you're looking for the scramble. Incorporate your games. Use your line twist, because I think what it does, if you let somebody scramble, you want it to be an east and west scramble. Jackson was getting north and south. I mean, that kills you so fast, especially when your backers are deep, whether they're playing man or zone. I mean, it's a gimme. So I would think that's been a big work for the Bears this week.
There you go, Coach Bennett on the Matt Mosley Show this week.
Yeah, and man, it's just fun to hear him, and he's got so many stories. And I think the other part of the Faith that's kind of interesting is that we didn't mention is that he went after Baylor in 2016, which was a very chaotic year. Which, if you notice, Scotty, when he came on live on the Mosley Show, I was trying to kind of get him off. He would have talked about that for a long time. And he started down that path, and I was like, let's stay on firm ground here, right?
Yeah.
But the next year, all those coaches are like, what are we going to do? Like, our careers are basically over. And Todd Graham was at Arizona State, and he brought him in as his defensive coordinator. And so it was interesting. And then even to this day, he is in, and he says we and us and all this stuff when he talks about too. Baylor. He loves Baylor, even though he was so he hated how the whole thing went down, and we don't want to get into that. But in 2017, he goes from Baylor to the defensive coordinator at Arizona State. Jeez. And then on top of that, he's now like the huge mentor for the Arizona State defensive coordinator, whose name is Brian Ward. And tonight, Brian Ward is in charge of trying to put something together, because they're looking at Baylor's tendencies. And right now, Baylor just has not been able to run the ball. And they've had success in the past running the ball, up the middle. And this year they've been a little bit better at bouncing the ball outside, but they're just not great.
Yeah.
And I thought the best thing Dave Aranda did last week after that Samford game was because I forget what the reporter who did it, but they tried to kind of offer him, well, it was Samford. You all did okay. Running game was a little better. And Dave's response was like, we were not good.
Yeah.
We were bad. And that's not a good enough effort. That's what, honestly, if you go out against Samford and you kind of screw around like they did for much of the game, that's the response you want from your head coach. The other thing, Scotty, that was so interesting that Phil told us was that this past spring, Dave invited him by.
Yeah.
Said, hey, come by and hang out with us and come to a spring practice. So many odd things have happened during the Aranda era. We've had Gary Patterson as a short term, but he was a consultant. And then Phil Bennett, who other than Art Briles, was kind of like, he was Briles' right-hand man, and we don't have time for this, and nor did I want to get into it. But Phil was in on all that. But again, Scotty will tell you, I like to delve into controversial things sometimes, and I like to say things that I don't mind surprising people with things. But if somebody starts talking about that scandal and I'm not ready to do it, I'll head it off in another direction. And I did that the other day because he was like, yes, it was bad. But the thing is, he's here tonight. And what time is it? We're getting closer to game time.
5:55.
What time is kickoff? 6:30?
5:53.
He is wrapping things up at La Fiesta. You ever been out there, Faith?
Cheese nachos, purple marg. Come on.
We shouldn't talk about it until they sponsor the Green and Gold Game Day.
Okay. I just wanted to say that's where he is.
Cheese nachos are why you go to Needfus. So
they don't put the beans on them?
No, it is just queso and cheese baked on chips.
And
guys,
that is how Faith got into volleyball shape. Speaking of Faith, you got to go to Big 12 Media Days and catch up with a couple stars for Arizona State who are going to take the field tonight.
I did. Yeah, it was great to talk to them. And I think I got a little bit of a uniform reveal more than I was supposed to. I think one of them told me about the throwbacks before they were announced. But yeah, we can take a look at some of that footage.
Defensive tackle for Arizona State.
What are you personally wanting to prove to the Big 12 this year?
Really, it's just a matter of showing that I could be more than one type of leader. Just show improvement from prior years. So as long as I'm showing improvement those 2 years, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, finishing so high last year, preseason polls have come out. Do you feel like you're playing with a chip on your shoulder? What are you expecting from your team? What does the team chemistry look like right now?
The chip's always going to be there.
Yeah.
No matter how many people jumping on board now, they weren't always here. So it's a matter of keeping that same mindset we've been had. You know, we're just things we're used to. We're used to being underdogs. We're not really used to having this. So it's like, I wouldn't say it affects us because it's not who we are. So, you know, it's just the type of aggressiveness that everybody doesn't have.
That grit, yeah.
Jordan Tyson, I play receiver at Arizona State.
What are you looking to show the Big 12 this year?
Kind of the same things from last year, kind of just dominating the Big 12, just winning a lot of games.
Finishing so high last season, and preseason polls have come out. Are you still playing with a chip on your shoulder? Like, what's the team chemistry looking like right now?
For sure, I feel like everybody still has that chip on their shoulder because we didn't make it all the way. We didn't win what we wanted to win. We won the Big 12, but we didn't win the Natty. So I think we all still had a chip on the shoulder.
Yeah, I was thankful to be able to go to Big 12 Media Day and get to talk to some of those guys with Sick on 365 Sports. To kind of go back to, Matt, your point of Dave Aranda in press conferences this week, I think that's the kind of mentality you have to have. You know, you don't want to have a poor performance and then just talk about, oh yeah, change things, it works, whatever, roll in this next opponent. I think Dave Aranda does a great job of respecting whoever he's going to play next, but also respecting the old Baylor of what everyone loved about Baylor. Is he understands Baylor's fans and Baylor's culture, and he's not going to dismiss any of that. And so that's what I love about him. I don't disagree about any of defensive changes he may have to make, but I think he does a great job of respecting who Baylor is and wants to bring maybe some glory back to those days.
But here's what I want to see from Aranda tonight. It's what Mosley referred to when he's talking about this being the Aranda game, right? Is Kenny Dillingham, his team's going to come out and hit people in the mouth, right? You heard them just talking to Faith just now where they're saying, we're the underdogs. We come in as the underdogs. We want to come pop people. I need to see Baylor's defense do that tonight. And I think that's where all these questions come around Coach Aranda is like, do they have that same underdog chip on their shoulder mentality? Are they going to come out and play with that same aggressiveness?
Yeah, I think you're right about, like, this Dillingham. We had a show this week, Scotty, where I was just kind of like, I was trying to kind of think about Dillingham and why I was so drawn to him, even during that 3-9 season. And I think it was like he had an uncommon passion. Like, there are some people I respect in this conference more than others. One is the coach at Utah who got his rear beat today. One is Sataki, Kalani at BYU. I love the guy. Yeah. I just think he has a certain mentality. But, like, for instance, Baylor would, if Dillingham were ever up for the Baylor job, here's what they would say about him. They would say, we don't think he's a fit with our mission, which, again, we're not going to get into that. But that's what they would say, because he is kind of psychotic. But in my book, he's kind of a good psychotic. He's like, he cares so much, it's like it gets a little bit out of hand sometimes. And I've seen him on the sideline kind of lose it. He's someone who needs older coaches around him to kind of reel him in at times, because he is in his 30s. So he could go one of two ways. Now, he's such a wild man that it could spin out of control, but he could become the best coach in the league. And, like, literally, if I were UCLA or Virginia Tech, and I don't think either one of those schools can get him, but let's say a really good job came up, like Florida, for instance. Like, and you're like, who would Florida go after right now? Like, I would totally go after this guy. Like, I he's great. I think he's incredible. But it's what makes it kind of a fun matchup tonight, because on one hand you have the quiet, weird, surreal, whatever genius in Aranda,
movie lover.
Yeah, just kind of movie references. And then you have a dude,
Berenstein Bears reader,
who's just a wild bucking bronco.
Yeah.
But when people say, I want this, or I want more emotion, this is the guy they're talking about. Is this Dillingham. And there'll be a moment tonight where we look over there and we'll all be in the stands tonight or in the press box or wherever, and we'll look over there and he will lose it. He will lose it. That doesn't mean that's the right way to handle it. I'm just saying we have opposites. we have a young, energetic, crazy man versus a dude who almost there's no comparison. Like if you say, who's like Dave Aranda in college football, you really can't come up with one. I can come up with a few who are like Dillingham, maybe even the guy at Nebraska. But we need to catch up on some of these scores, by the way. Goodness gracious.
Well, maybe you can pull that up while we go to this. Speaking of parallels, right? Somebody who has quite the personality, and I say that as a compliment, is Jake Plummer. I got to talk to Jake yesterday, and he actually was comparing Sam Leavitt to himself, which in a favorable way. Jake telling me why he loves Sam Leavitt and is never going to count Arizona State out of a game as long as that dude is playing quarterback.
He is going to make the throws that we're expecting him to make, and then he's going to also make some crazy plays like, what did I just see? We had him wrapped up in the backfield, and he broke 3 tackles and rolled to his left, then back to his right, and then sprinted 30 yards down the field. I mean, he is a playmaking machine, so quick. He's got a good arm, and it's his confidence and leadership that I think that puts ASU in every ball game they have this year. Like, seriously, down 15, down 20, whatever it is, they're never going to stop. And that's because of Sam's belief that, hey, we can win every game. And so that's a really plus for ASU. We got a leader back there now. We got a guy that we can count on, and that maybe he doesn't play great or perfect every game, but we know he's going to bring it. Therefore, we all got to bring it too. And that's what I really enjoyed about this young man and how he approaches the game.
Welcome back to the 365 Green and Gold Game Day Show. Really nice to have that interview piece there, Scotty.
Hey, thanks. Jake was really cool. He was like, call me anytime. I said, College Football Hall of Famer Jake Plummer, I will. I absolutely will. But his point, Sam Leavitt, I said it at the top of the show, his numbers aren't living up to this kind of aura that he walked into the season with, first team All Big 12, etc. But, like, make no mistake, after what Jackson Arnold did to the Bears a few weeks ago, like, Sam Leavitt is capable of making some ridiculous plays against this defense to keep Arizona State in the game or ahead in the game.
You know, when I was a kid, I can remember, I don't know what year it was, but watching Plummer, Jake the Snake, in the Rose Bowl, and it was just like there was something he brought that was different than most quarterbacks, and so really, really cool to have him and have him talking about a young Leavitt. And the truth is they haven't, the last great quarterback they had ended up transferring out. And didn't he end up winning a Heisman somewhere? Who was it? Jaden Daniels, started out at Arizona State. And he ends up winning the Heisman at LSU. But before that, boy, Jake Plummer, he was so incredible. Leavitt, to me, is someone that, and we're going to watch this. We're going to look at some scores here in a little bit. But my gosh, what Auburn and Oklahoma are doing right now, they've got 2 similar quarterbacks because Jackson can run, Mateer can make plays with his legs. And you know who we're not talking about that can also make plays with his legs is the Baylor quarterback, Sawyer Robertson. We can talk about Leavitt forever. Like if we put whatever device they put on him that go, he was running 21 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour. Sawyer may be just as fast as Leavitt. They're just not using him in that way that much. Maybe they will have to tonight. Maybe that'll come up, and then he'll take off on some long runs. But, in terms of is this a track meet or not, I have a hard time thinking that Baylor wins this game if they score under 35.
Agreed. Totally agree. Let's take a break. Sound good? When we come back, we'll have Bear Essentials, keys to the game, how Baylor can get a victory tonight. We'll have Terrence Ganaway join us for that. Thanks so much to everyone who's making this possible. Hondo Hat Company, if you like this hat, if you like this hat, if you like the ones you're seeing in the commercials, make sure to check out Hondo. Southern Roots, we love you. Thanks for the 6-pack. We'll enjoy that later. Me and Matt Mosley, of course. He loves that. Thanks so much to Central National Bank, Slovaceks, everybody else. The Brazos Landing. Let's take a break. We'll come back in just a few minutes.
At Hellberg, we've received accolades for our barbecue. but my real passion is in cultivating world-class culinary experiences that bring people together. We would love to cater your next event. You receive a fully personalized experience complete with a custom menu that's sure to impress your guests. And even though we're known for our barbecue, it goes way beyond that. We've done everything from box lunches to grilled oysters and whole roasted pigs. Basically, if you can dream it, we can do it. This is at the heart of what we do. This is Hellberg.
At Camp Info Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
I mean, yeah, a new coach comes in, they're going to churn the roster. I think that's just we've got all these transfer portal stats and what Dion did and what Fritz has done. I mean, that's the deal, man. That's the game that's being played nowadays.
Maybe a little bit unknown at quarterback. I mean, unknown to the rest of the world, but, you know, he dove into the portal and got a guy who is super, super athletic.
South Dakota State's really good. Give us a little bit of breakdown about what they can do and what Oklahoma State needs to be worried about.
But look at that form right there. I need to say nothing else about this because I found one.
When Central National Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball, we didn't know exactly what that partnership would look like.
What brings you into the bank today?
For the last couple of months, I've been noticing a charge on my account, and I would like to block it.
I see. So you have a charge?
Yes.
And you'd like to block it?
Yes.
I think you should take the charge.
What?
Yeah, I definitely think you should take the charge.
I don't think you understand.
Sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Is there a manager available?
We love that Coach Collin is all about the team. Once we get the vocabulary down, the sky's the limit.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor women's basketball.
I have Mac Rhodes, director of Baylor Athletics, on the phone. Mac, can you tell Peggy why she should take the charge?
Of course she should take the charge. Wait, are you at the bank again? And who is Peggy?
I'm Cole Posey, and I'm a third-generation Baylor Bear. During my time playing baseball at Baylor, I started a hat company called Hondo, which started as meek and humble beginnings, has quickly grown into something more. Over 40,000 hats sold, and then over 100 retail locations nationwide. I love vintage Western hats, but couldn't stand the condition they came in, so I decided to make my own. Vintage style, but with modern aesthetics. Thank you so much for making my dream come true and for enabling what was once a dream to become a reality. God bless.
Welcome back to the 365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day Show. Thanks for sticking with us. A couple more minutes here, but we're going to look at some scores. Y'all good with that?
Absolutely.
Look at some scores. All right. Got Auburn, Oklahoma. Auburn is up 17-16. Guys, we need that, Matt.
I made a bet with Matt Mosley on the show this week. He told me I was crazy. I said Auburn's going to win that football game. I like being right.
I think how much time's left? See?
4 minutes, 54 seconds.
They got it.
Fourth quarter.
They got
it's
it.
a lot of game left.
Jackson,
a lot of game.
Arnold.
We've got, Kent State, Florida State, 66-10.
That's okay.
I didn't need to know that one.
No,
thanks,
no. What
guys.
did that Nebraska-Michigan game? We do need to know
Final, Michigan 30, Nebraska 27.
Oh, there'll be a great post-game speech at least.
Purdue, Notre Dame 34, Purdue 16. Going into half. That's all I got, boys. Nothing else has started yet.
Some of those early scores. Let's update.
It's like
that Tech game was
Tech.
That was a huge win for Texas Tech today over Utah, 34-10.
Yeah, Tech got several touchdowns there late, like 2 or 3 late in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then SMU loses, right, in Fort Worth, 35-24. And those are some of the early games. Tennessee all over UAB. What was that final score? Did Ole Miss ran Tulane out of the building?
Final, 45-10.
I thought a huge game for, like, playoff purposes. You're like, oh, man, this is a group of 5. Who cares? Well, Like Memphis is in the conversation, guys.
Group of 5 gets a team in. They do.
And
they're guaranteed
Arkansas
one.
is down there with a minute left. All they got to do is kick a field goal, and they win the game. And they fumble. They fumble at the end of the game, and Memphis wins that game to take down the Razorbacks. That was big. That was a great win for Memphis.
One of my red herring coworkers told me absolutely. They're going to sponsor this show at some point. Told me that he had put a little coin on Memphis to win that game. So he's probably a happy guy tonight. Speaking of winning the game, it's time, y'all. It's time. We are so close. Kickoff. Arizona State here in Waco. Baylor Bears trying to go 1-0 in conference play. What are the Bear essentials in order to defeat the Sun Devils tonight?
You know, I want to keep saying run the football.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that they have what it takes right now, and they're not in a good way there. It would take so much pressure off Sawyer if they could do that. So I think that's key to see if it's there, to try to. And sometimes, as we've learned from Dave Aranda, sometimes you have to throw the run game open. Sometimes you have to come out, throw the football, and then try to run the ball. And so I think it's going to be a complimentary football there. And then let's watch one little thing. I'm not usually a special teams guy, but I'll say this. Texas State, and I watched some of the game against Arizona State just to get a feel for this. Texas State did have a 41-yard kickoff return. They stung them a little bit on that. I'm ready to see Cameron or somebody in that return game.
Cole Wilson looking good on kick returns. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Like even the guy they had last year that transferred him from Nevada, he had a couple of huge kickoff returns at one point. Like Baylor needs to be good in special teams. And I know Dave Aranda hates to punt, and so we won't see a lot of punting. But when they do have to punt, that guy is a weapon.
Yeah.
He's a great punter.
He is.
So, yeah, I know y'all are hoping I would talk punting, but I think, every time he punts, he had 4 punts in that last game. I do not think it'd be good, though, if Baylor wins that, special teams player of the year, the week award again. That was bad.
Unless Josh Cameron wins it for running one back.
Okay.
Unless one of the returners. I think you're right about that. So those are my keys. Other than on defense, you have to impact or affect the quarterback. And I think you got to make him uncomfortable early. If he gets in a rhythm, it could be scary.
Look, he's talking about defense. I think we're finally healthy. Jackie Marshall's not on the injury list as of right now. I don't know if whatever. Everyone looks great. I think we can confidently say we have all of our pieces for defense this week. So yeah, let's push that. Talk about keys to the game, just getting nitpicky, O-line. Move some people around, make the run game more of an option for Sawyer. Let Dave Aranda have the option to then again, run the ball. I think having O-line have a great night for us opens up a lot of doors of let's let Sawyer do his thing and throw for another 400-yard game. I'm fine with that. That's what it takes to win the game, whatever. But having O-line have an outstanding game tonight, I think would be my key.
I think that's great. I think keeping Sawyer upright and giving him time to throw is part of what I've talked about. My big thing defensively was first down. First down defense. Force into second and long.
Yeah.
It's a lot more difficult to go 2nd and 9 than 2nd and 3. And so I think for Baylor, that emphasis on the run fit, which we saw poor against Auburn, containing Levitt. Don't let him get loose and get even 4 or 5 yards on first. Play contain, spy the quarterback, run fits on first down, make them go 2nd, 3rd, and long. I think that's a key to success. Terrence Canaway has some input on the Bear essentials, and he's going to tell us also why these next 3 games, the second quarter of the season for the Bears, if you will, might be the most important towards a Big 12 title. Let's hear from Terrence.
What's going on, Baylor Nation? I think we have a big matchup this week, one that Baylor desperately needs to win. Scotty and I talked about earlier this week, and please bear with me. We talked about Baylor moving into the second quarter of the season. These next three games are critical. Oklahoma State, Kansas State, right there in the horizon. But there's never been a bigger game to start out Big 12 play than there is one right now under Dave Aranda in year 6. Second-year defensive coordinator, play caller Dave Aranda. Second-year offensive coordinator, play caller Spavital. They got everybody that they needed to have on this team, and I bet they're all wanting it to all run smoothly this week and everything to click on all cylinders. So how do we get there? When we look at the Big 12 is wide open. Sawyer Robertson leads the Big 12 in passing. Bryson Washington leads the Big 12 in rushing. And, if you look at the top 5, Sam Leavitt, playoff quarterback last year, he's not even in top 5 in passing yards. He's thrown for under 60 attempts this year. If my memory serves me right, it hasn't been great in the air. 3 picks on the year. It's still early. We know what type of playmaker he is. He's athletic. He can make plays with his legs as well. I think they're going to lean heavily on Raleek Brown, who is second in the Big 12 in rushing right behind Bryson, and he's averaging over 8 yards a carry. And I think if you are looking at this from Arizona State's perspective, what has worked really well and how do we take pressure off of Sam Leavitt? We turn around, we hand the ball off, and we try to hit Baylor's defense in the heart, which allows you to get a lot of great looks in the passing game, a lot of clean windows, a lot of easy throws to maybe get Sam Leavitt started out earlier. His number one target, who leads, he's tied in the Big 12 with touchdowns, but he leads the Big 12 in receptions as well as receiving yards, and that's Tyson. Jordan Tyson, Allen kid, right here in DFW. He's a big recruit. He's a big player for them, and he is Sam Leavitt's go-to security blanket. Kind of how, Robertson looks at Cameron. Kobe Prentice is number 2 on the list, and he tied for first with 4 touchdowns. But the ball gets spread around a lot. I mean, I think there are probably like 15 people that got a reception last week against Sanford. And I think that helps keep the defense honest. But it also kind of messes with the timing of all the route combinations and the speed, especially as teams get faster. We saw a setback last week. I don't know if you really call it a setback, but throwing 2 interceptions in a game where you should have dominated easily. I hope there was some really good coaching this week. I hope there's been great practice. Baylor needs to rely on moving the ball in the air. The only loss that Arizona State has this year is to Blake Shapen. And if I'm taking quarterbacks that can throw the ball and get it to receivers in space, I'm going to take Sawyer Robertson. And I think the keys to the game are simple this week. We have to put pressure on Sam Leavitt to make plays, not only with his arm, but with his legs. And then we have to stop Brown as a running back. We have to rally to the ball. We have to pursue. We have to tackle. And then I think the X factor this week, yes, Bryson Washington is always a big play for us. I think it's how smooth will Sawyer Robertson play. So if he plays a smooth, clean game like we've seen in the first 2 games, I think we have a chance to move the ball very easily on this team. However, if he plays sloppy, I think that gives them a lot of momentum. ESPN and some other analysts have us winning and favored in this game. It being at home, it's a 2.5-point spread via ESPN app. I don't know if I believe that just yet. I think it could be a definitely 10-point game. Either way, obviously I'm going to ride with Baylor. Y'all saw how I looked earlier this year when I was wrong. I want to be right now. So Baylor winning this week, I'm going to go with 38-28 at home to open up Big 12 play and to win the first game in the second quarter of the season.
Some good Bear essentials, keys to the game from my friend Terrence Ganaway. We're going to talk about the poll results for poll 3. Bears' big percentage was 16%. Oh, I'm understanding now. All right, I got a whiteboard in front of me. Bears win big by 16%, win close 5%. ASU win big 10%. ASU win close 23%. So we have ASU fans in our poll, is what I'm assuming.
I think the biggest one appears to be, I think people do have the Bears winning by a close margin. 51% of the vote comes in. And so is it time for me to give my thoughts on what the Bears will do? I really think that they're going to find a way. What do you guys? What's wrong?
Scotty just has a smirk on his face.
31.
My face is funny.
31-28. The Bears find a way tonight. I mean, it's going to be a shootout, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and there will be a new hero after tonight. And it's going to happen on defense. Here's the reason they win. They get 2 takeaways in this game.
Who's the hero?
Jackie Marshall.
Oh, I love that. Come on.
He causes the big fumble, makes a hit, hits the quarterback, and that is a huge part of tonight.
I like that. I'll do 42-35. Baylor. I feel like it's going to be another high-scoring game. I just think with both of these quarterbacks, if they're going to do what they're supposed to do, it's going to be a high-scoring game. I do think Sam Levitt's going to get out of the pocket. I think he's going to have some legs tonight. So we'll see if Jackie Marshall does his job defensively. But, yeah, those are my predictions.
Matt, if Baylor holds Arizona State to 28 points, I will be in absolute shock and awe. I'm just going to tell you, if this defense can hold this team to 28, I will be apologizing to Dave Aranda and Dave Aranda fans all over the country. I will personally walk up to each of you, shake your hand, and say I was wrong. There's no way. There's no way. I think this might very much be a game where the last team with the football wins.
Ooh.
I think both of these quarterbacks are guys that I would trust if you hand them the ball with a minute and a half and say, go win the game. These are 2 quarterbacks that will say absolutely. And if you're a fan, you probably feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
I go back to when Baylor scored a touchdown late in the fourth quarter last year here against TCU, and my dad said, game over. And I looked over and said, no, it's not. And it wasn't. There were 2 more scores. That's the kind of game this is going to be. Yeah. I'm going to say 45-44 Bears. I think Baylor gets it done. I don't know if Baylor covers the 2.5-point spread. It is going to be that kind of hold your breath, clench the side of your seat, ride with the team, close football game.
You know, you say that, and I know what you're saying about to 28 seems like that would be an incredible feat by this Bears defense. But going into that Utah-Texas Tech game today, never in a million years would I have thought, you know what this game's going to be about? Tech completely dominating on defense. And even though, think about how many times we would have thought Tech threw a pick. Oh, they threw another pick in the red zone. This is going to come back and haunt them. And yet, even when Utah made that game finally, it took them forever to do this, but early in the fourth quarter, Utah did make that game 13-10. Tech responded, 2 quick scores, and I'm almost thinking the Bears find a way tonight to find a little defensive balance.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're going to hold them to 10, okay, like what Utah. But the more I think about this, the more I could even see Arizona State being held to even 21. Even less than my 28. I'm glad we have people. I want people to show up to our tailgates with signs and whatever they want.
By the end of the season. By the end of the season, we'll have it.
Yeah, and if people want to get back,
maybe I'll bring a sign.
Act crazy. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm a little.
Your parents will bring a sign.
Yeah.
Go say.
Did Oklahoma win that game?
Oh, 24-17. I guess they got a
They
safety
got
or
a
something.
safety to
A
win
minute
that
left.
game.
They got a safety at the end. So
That means that I was double wrong. Not only did Auburn lose, but it was probably Jackson Arnold taking a sack. I'm making an assumption. Oh, I'm getting a nod from our
we're
producer.
getting a nod.
Jackson
No.
Arnold took a sack.
Oh.
So I was double wrong. Sooners fans love that. The guy that transferred out.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine what Norman feels like right now?
That'd be
Amazing.
like us playing Mississippi State and just absolutely hosing Blake Shapen.
I giggle at even the thought. That would be hilarious.
I wish all nice things toward Blake Shapen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Unless
but,
he was
I mean,
playing Baylor.
Unless we were playing him.
Can we scroll down and see what LSU ended up doing? No, more the other direction. I'm sorry. Scroll up. What did LSU?
They haven't.
No,
They haven't 6:45. They haven't started yet.
Oh, okay.
Matt's trying to read off of Faith's homework over here.
Like I got my
trying to
scores.
copy the answers to the test.
You know, I got to say one thing about this fan base.
Yeah, come on.
Like, the Bears need to, like, this fan base needs to. Where's the music coming from?
Oh,
Do we
they
have,
just
like
they
a band
cranked
or
it.
something?
They cranked it while nobody's
Camp
here.
info?
I guess.
Okay, we're getting with it.
I like it.
How about this fan base showing up tonight? Sanford, I'm not going to hold the students accountable for the fact that like 10 of them stayed till the end of the game.
10 of them were there at the beginning of the game, I think.
No, they had a decent Baylor lie.
There's a flyover.
A little
There's the flyover
Of
before the game.
the brave.
I like a good flyover. But this needs to be a game like Arizona State needs to know they were in a tough environment.
Yeah.
And I don't think Auburn did, quite honestly. And if you're going to put the anthracites on, let's show up. Let's be dark. Let's
Oh, Matt Mosley loves a good anthracite.
I like an anthracite uniform. And if you're going to wear the dark helmets, let's show up like that. The fans need to be big time into this. And I guess the best sign is we have seen the tailgate area in the time we've been on go from lit to just vanished, which means they're at the game at least.
Yes, they're making their way over there. I think as a student, I would want to have a 6:30 kick on a Saturday, watch some good football this morning. It honestly feels a lot cooler
The
right
breeze
now. I'm
is
getting a little
coming
breeze,
in.
sun's going
Yeah.
down. Anthracite uniform is Matt's favorite word. I mean, I think it's a good game environment. I hope Baylor fans understand the level of importance of this game. And I don't know, let's see them come at half. I don't care. Stay at home, watch the first half at home, and then make your way over here at half. Let's
I
come
hope
on.
they're all here.
So bottom line, regardless of the score prediction, we're all taking Baylor. We're riding with Sawyer Robertson. We're riding with this defense. It is going to be a great evening here in Waco. Hey, I want to thank everybody so much for joining us. Faith Lynch, Matt Mosley, Scotty Swingler, 365 Sports. Let's thank everybody who worked so hard today. Colin was here. He left. Grant, Andrew, Brandon, Corey, Kevin, Pete Souza came by. Terrence Ganaway was here.
Robin Jones.
Robin Big Cat Jones was phenomenal. Blake Blackmar sat up here with me and talked about barbecue. It doesn't get any better than that. Thank you, Hondo Hat Company. Thank you. Southern Roots. Matt, you sure?
Not until we're all fair.
Sounds good. All right. Who else?
Not at all.
Central National Bank. Brazos Landing.
Ascension Providence.
Ascension Providence. Gather and Co. We love you. We love this team. We love doing this. We'll be back next week before Oklahoma State. Make sure to like and subscribe. Green and Gold Game Day on YouTube. Y'all want to get a sick 'em in real quick? Hey, you can do it, Moses! Sick 'em in!
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out gathercoremodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Day.
At Hellberg, we've received accolades for our barbecue, but my real passion is in cultivating world-class culinary experiences that bring people together. We would love to cater your next event. You receive a fully personalized experience complete with a custom menu that's sure to impress your guests. And even though we're known for our barbecue, it goes way beyond that. We've done everything from box lunches to grilled oysters and whole roasted pigs. Basically, if you can dream it, we can do it. This is at the heart of what we do. This is Hellberg.
At Camp Info Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
I mean, yeah, a new coach comes in, they're going to turn the roster. I think that's just we've got all these transfer portal stats and what Dion did and what Fritz has done. I mean, that's the deal, man. That's the game that's being played nowadays.
Maybe a little bit unknown at quarterback. I mean, unknown to the rest of the world, but he dove into the portal and got a guy who is super, super athletic.
South Dakota State's really good. Give us a little bit of breakdown about what they can do and what Oklahoma State needs to be worried about.
Look at that form right there. I need to say nothing else about this because I found one.
When Central National Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball, we didn't know exactly what that partnership would look like.
What brings you into the bank today?
For the last couple of months, I've been noticing a charge on my account, and I would like to block it.
I see. So you have a charge?
Yes.
And you'd like to block it?
Yes.
I think you should take the charge.
What?
Yeah, I definitely think you should take the charge.
I don't think you understand.
Sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Is there a manager available?
We love that Coach Collin is all about the team. Once we get the vocabulary down, the sky's the limit.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor women's basketball.
I have Mac Rhodes, director of Baylor Athletics, on the phone. Mac, can you tell Peggy why she should take the charge?
Of course she should take the charge. Wait, are you at the bank again? And who is Peggy?
I'm Cole Posey, and I'm a third-generation Baylor Bear. During my time playing baseball at Baylor, I started a hat company called Hondo, which started as meek and humble beginnings, has quickly grown into something more. Over 40,000 hats sold, and then over 100 retail locations nationwide. I love vintage Western hats, but couldn't stand the condition they came in, so I decided to make my own. Vintage style, but with modern aesthetics. Thank you so much for making my dream come true and for enabling what was once a dream to become a reality. God bless.